Welcome back to Phasmophobia. If you guys could like, comment, and or subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Anything that you can do for the channel will help me put more back into the channel for you. All that being said, and as you can see me sitting up over here in the background, today, I'm trying to get this thing to work with me a little bit here. There's that, disable. We're going to do some tier 1 insanity. Obviously, we won't be able to get perfect investigation because we don't have incenses for repelling or cleansing. We don't have a photo cam for a ghost photo. We don't have parabolic or motion sensor for those objectives either. I suppose we could get sanity below 25. What's another one? Witness a ghost event and escape a hunt. Those are entirely possible, but we still wouldn't be able to get perfect game because we wouldn't be able to get all the 10 3-star ghost photos. Not ghost photos, 10 3-star photos. Wow, my brain is dead today. So this ought to go great, right? What do we got? What can we actually do? We can escape a ghost during a hunt, although that is inadvisable without incense. But still possible. So, you literally have nothing aside from the tier 1 equipment. On insanity, you only get 1 evidence. You start with 75% sanity. There's very few hiding spaces, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think maybe the ghost is a little bit more aggressive, not in terms of events, but in wanting to hunt, although I don't think that's really a setting in this game, honestly. So first things first, we're going to grab a flashlight so you guys can see. I am going to grab EMF and thermals. When we go inside here, as soon as we open up the door and go inside the house, our sanity begins to drop. So our goal is going to be get to the breaker, get it turned on so we can preserve as much of our sanity as possible. After that, normally I would ideally look for the bone, which we'll try to look for it too a little bit, but it's not going to be a priority as it won't matter because we won't be able to get a perfect game. Ambient temperature looks like it's going to be around 7 to 10 degrees. About 7 on the nose. We're gonna grab this. Don't have a hiding space there. That's unfortunate. No bone in here. Ran out of sprint. It's over in the starting area. Breakers in the basement. That's gonna suck quite a bit. I should have been turning on lights on my way here, but now we got that on. Found our bones right here on the kitchen floor. We're gonna get in here and get a couple of these turned on. We find. I don't want that to touch me. Those events will take away your sanity. So if I let that touch me, I think that as long as it's not an Oni or a Banshee, that would have been 10% sanity right there. Unfortunately, now it's been a bit too long. I don't think I'm going to be able to find out which door it touched. Let's use our thermal and try to figure out what room it is in. We're about an even 10-ish. Still going down? It's still going down. Maybe this hallway is the ghost room. It's looking like it's a good possibility. Not that good though. Living room? That is where the ghost event came from. Nope, our thermals are going up, so that is an adjacent room there. How's our thermals in here? About the same. I think I gotta start to throw something in the nursery. I do have open mic on so the game can hear me as well as you guys. Damn it. I couldn't do anything about that. Temps are actually going up in there. So it could very well just be straight up in the hallway. Several back-to-back ghost events. Onis and Thays are a bit more active than most ghosts. No, we're not really dropping... Oh, instantly in the bathroom. Okay. Well, bathroom is going to be pretty convenient. We need to check this bedroom, see if we have hiding in there. Ideally, we do. Our CCTV is broken. Or at least the little logo is. I'm gonna grab this equipment, get it put in here. So, it probably cost us about 10% sanity getting down there and getting the breaker turned on. That might be a bit of an overestimation. It definitely cost us 10% when we got touched by that one ghost event. So I'm estimating we're down, starting at 75, we should be down close to 55% sanity. So we should be expecting a hunt at any moment. Still the ghost room. I believe so. Either that or this is the ghost room out here. hiding. Thank God we have one hiding space. I'm not seeing any orbs anywhere. Go ahead and get this light turned back on. This is definitely the room here. Needed to touch a door. That'll be good there. Let's go grab more equipment. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, we're going to need to use Spirit Box, so that might cost us between 5 and 10% depending on how long it takes us to get a response, because we'll need to stand in the dark in the room with the ghost. And honestly, it can cost us a fair amount more than that if the ghost decides to do another event. Well, let's try to be optimistic, huh? Oh, right, stuff actually blocks it. Here goes nothing. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Not gonna have to worry about that. I am gonna have to take a deeper look for ghost orbs. Ensure it is not a mimic. Doesn't appear to be. Sorry about the cough. Couldn't hold that one in. So we're gonna get in here and get away from the ghost stream now, because it's probably gonna hunt whenever it wants to. Yeah, the only thing we can do there is escape. We have ultraviolet, and we know we don't have ghost orbs. So it can't be Goryo or Hantu. Goryo is forced to have dots as an evidence no matter what. So if you're only going to get one evidence, as is in Insanity, say that 5 times fast. God damn it, do stop that bullshit. You would have to get dots. And of course the ghost is here now. Good potential this is a Banshee. It's been following me around everywhere. Obake is forced to have evidence as well, but its forced evidence is ultraviolet. Hantu is forced to have freezing temps, so we can actually rule those two out right away. Without a photo cam, I can't test for Phantom. I'll have to look for it during a hunt. It's been a little bit active, but I don't believe it's been active enough to be poltergeist just yet. We will actually use this opportunity before a hunt in order to go ahead and start setting up a polty pile. Polty pile is basically just an expression for a bunch of items in a given area, so when you are looping the ghost during a hunt, the ghost has a lot of items that it can throw around. The poltergeist throws an item every half a second, whereas normal ghost is between half a second and I think maybe 1 second. I like to keep my polty piles spread out, because if I'm over here, the ghost is over there, it's not going to be throwing anything over here, and it's going to look like it's throwing less. So if it's spread out, it has a larger range to throw items, or of items to throw. I also don't like to stack everything up, because if it grabs something from the bottom of the pile and throws it, it's going to look like it's throwing really hard, or throwing a lot, or even a polty explosion in some cases, especially if the physics glitch out a little bit. But, brain just died in the middle of the sentence. If you keep it spread out like this, then there's no this cup could be thrown and the plate will maybe go a little bit to the side or something. That's going to be about it. Now if it does a polty explosion, the whole table or the whole kitchen island is going to clear itself. It should be pretty good here. Apparently I have some time before I have to worry about too much. Demon can just hunt whenever the hell it wants. That's its ability. There's nothing really much to that. It also expands the range of every crucifix by 1.5 times. Pretty much it. Myling is incredibly quiet. That's why I actually still have my flashlight. Just do some more stuff over there. That's why I have my flashlight on me. Basically, if your flashlight is blinking and you don't, or you just start hearing footsteps, then it's a Myling. If you hear footsteps before your flashlight blinks, then it's not likely a Myling. The kind of one catch to that is the Raiju, maybe. The Raiju expands the distance of interference for all powered on electronics significantly. I don't remember the exact value, but brain stopped working in the middle of that sentence too. I think I've had a Raiju on this one actually this week, and you could still hear it even while your equipment wasn't blinking, so I'm pretty sure if you can hear footsteps and your equipment's not interacting, then it's not a Myling. Jinn with the breaker powered on while the ghost is at a distance from you. I forget the exact distance, but it's several meters. This to start. And the ghost has line of sight on you, it will speed up as though it is holding shift. If it loses that line of sight, it stops speeding up. It's not like a Revenant where it keeps that speed until it gets to your last known location kind of deal. And it could also never turn off the breaker, so if you ever have a breaker turn off, you know it's not a Jinn. Phantom is just very invisible, hard to see because it's like blink into existence and then it's gone for a second. Blink into existence, then it's gone for a second. Oni is the opposite, where it's there, then it's gone, then it's there, then it's gone, then it's there, then it's gone. It might also blink rapidly. Obake literally shapeshifts into a different ghost model. So we have the tall lady as the base ghost model, as given from the ghost events. So if that ever turns into the butcher or the small child or the burned man, then we'll know we have an Obake. Banshee will warm towards a target, so on single player, you're always the target, such as right now. It doesn't have to do much. It doesn't have to do events. It doesn't have to do any kind of hunt. It'll just... That was the breaker. We know it's not a Jinn. It's pretty dangerous going down into their basement right now. Alright, did that without triggering a hunt. I'm actually going to stand over here and start draining my sanity. So we know it's not a Jinn because it turned off the breaker. I think I was talking about... Oh yeah, Banshee with this roam. So the ghost that does the... Phantom. Barely see the ghost. So yep, normal ghost would have been, well, not significantly, yeah, significantly more visible there. Like that one went from coming out of the door to just in front of the island, and you couldn't see it until it blinked back into existence. And then it made it to the other side of the island, and you couldn't see it until it blinked back into existence. So that's definitely a phantom. Yeah, the Banshee, so the ghost is all like a NPC that's just walking around the map 24/7. You can't see it or interact with it until it's doing a hunt or a ghost event. And yeah, that's just the ghost character basically. So it just sets waypoints randomly kind of throughout the house, usually within its room, but that kind of changes depending on what ghost it is, because then it has a different ghost behavior. So the Banshee will have a target as long as that target is on the same floor or level as the ghost. It'll set its waypoint next to or directly on top of that target. So if we know the ghost room is this bathroom, let's say, because ghost orbs is a part of Banshee, right? Yeah. So let's say we had ghost orbs as our evidence. We know they're in the bathroom, and we put some salt down in the kitchen, and we're crouched behind the island waiting for a hunt. And that salt gets stepped in directly on top of us, and we come and double check and there's still ghost orbs in the bathroom. 90-ish% chance that's a Banshee. Now, Phantom is actually a teleporting ghost too, along with, I think it functions similar to the Wraith, but the Wraith can roam through walls. Phantom will just teleport to any given player, it doesn't have a specific target, where the Banshee has to walk to the player. So you can actually set up motion sensors and salt all the way to a location, and if that person's a target, you watch every motion sensor and every salt get interacted with all the way to that target. Whereas the Phantom will teleport there and maybe roam back, and I think sometimes they have an option to teleport back. I'm not entirely positive on that. So we did complete our one objective that we were capable of doing. We pretty much know it's a Phantom from looking at it. Thank you, Jennifer Carter. And that was pretty much all we're capable of doing with this. All with only tier 1 equipment. No incenses, no fancy equipments. Which photocam would actually help a lot for Phantom. We had several ghost events. If you take a ghost photo of a phantom, it will not show up in the photo. So I think that's only on the client side. So if you're playing multiplayer and somebody else takes a ghost photo and it doesn't show up, take that with a rather sizable grain of salt. Phantom 1525 on Insanity. So yeah, take that with a rather massive grain of salt. Ask them to confirm in their book to make sure that the ghost isn't showing up in the photo, and then decide whether or not it's a phantom or potentially a mimic. But yeah, this wasn't too quick, was it? I think we got a fair amount of details packed into here. Now, if this was another ghost such as, because phantoms fairly, we'll run through them, especially with only tier 1 starting items. Wraith actually kind of can become quite difficult, as well as Spirit. So the ghosts that are easy on this are actually Phantom. I just tried to control click. I'll cross them off. Phantom, Polter, Jinn, Oni. Goryo kind of is easy. Revenant, believe it or not, Revenant's easy on this, as long as you have hiding and you're not trying to really play with the ghost too much during hunts. Hantu, Obake, Mimic, because Mimic will be the only one to do evidence, you wouldn't even need to let it hunt. Diogen's pretty much always easy, although I have died to a handful, as you all have witnessed. Fae can be a little bit tricky, but you could still get it based on its hunting behavior alone. Raiju and Myline for the same thing. Myline's really quiet during a hunt. Raiju expands the range of interacting with electronics significantly, and it speeds up around powered on electronics. Yokai is a bit trickier because you don't have an instance, so if you just wait towards the end of the hunt, like I did when testing for that phantom, you can use your walkie-talkie or a flashlight or something and just see if it beelines straight towards you, or if it decides, I'm gonna go play around in the garage for a second. Yeah, we don't have candlelights or any kind of igniter to test for Onryo. Roy should be straightforward because it'll only ever get faster. Because we don't have any sanity medication, so as our sanity drains, the Moroi speeds up. And the Thay won't speed up with line of sight, and as you're near the ghost will slow down and it'll never speed up. So it's kind of opposite. Hantu will be easy because it'll be the only ghost with cold breath while the breaker's turned off. Also, having the freezing temps as a forced evidence helps significantly, especially given what else is left over. The twins can be easy if you have a good ear, because my ear sometimes fails me on them because I can't hardly tell the two hunts apart. But one is slower than a spirit, one is faster than a spirit. They're not like Usain Bolt or anything, but they're just like a half a meter a second slower and a half a meter a second faster, I think. Shade could be easy if you're in the ghost room and the ghost is doing absolutely no interactions. However, shades are a little bit broken because that bathroom's about the size of this rug, so we'll use it as an example. Let's say the ghost room's the bathroom, I'm in the bathroom, ghost can't do anything activity-wise. That's only if you're in the same room as the ghost, not if you're in the ghost room. Big difference there, because if the ghost roams out of its room, this is still the favorite room, ghost is over there, it can now do events, activity, do whatever the hell it wants, it's basically just a spirit. Although I think it can only start hunting, I don't know what a shade can start hunting. My guess would be about 50-ish%, maybe it's like 40 sanity. So yeah, if it roams out of there, it can now do events, and you can do teleporting events. So it can roam out of the bathroom, do a teleporting event into the bathroom while you're in the ghost room, and you're like, wait, so this can't be a shade. And then you go back and forth with that, like, for the remainder of the match till you give up. Ask me how I know, because you guys have seen me do that, especially, I think the most recent one I've had an interaction with like that was on Willow Street, because the ghost room is in the kitchen. I was trying to hide in the living room waiting for it to do a hunt so I could try to get a visual on the ghost and see it, and then it kept doing teleporting ghost events on me, so I was like, okay, so there's no way this is a shade. Yuri is a bit tricky because it only does the double door touch, and that's really its only significant ability, but it's nice because you don't need to let it hunt to do that. I don't even think the door touches during a hunt count as a Yuri ability. Maybe it can do its ability during a hunt, but other ghosts seem to be able to mimic it all the time, so I would take that with a grain of salt as well. Also, other ghosts can just straight up mimic the Yuri's ability, because it's just an interaction. It's just chance. Any ghost can say, I'm going to do an activity, I'm going to do another activity right now. It's just a roll of the dice. So, pretty tricky to get that one. I think with incense, technically, if you incense a Yurei, it can be, or it's supposed to not roam outside of its room for like 30 seconds or a minute. Not entirely positive on that. Maybe you could put a motion sensor up just outside the door to see if it leaves the room. Maybe if like right at 60 seconds or 61 seconds after incensing, it walks out of the room, and then if like 29 seconds later it hunts outside of the room. That could be a way to tell. Again, it's a roll of the dice. Any other ghost can mimic that. So there's a lot of these to keep an eye out for, a lot of them to keep track of. Some of these you have to on one evidence or even on no evidence, honestly, which we could have done this with and still gotten that phantom. A lot of these you're just going to get the ghost based off of its hunting trait. Some of these you'll get the ghost based off its non-hunting trait, like the Goryo's dots evidence can only be viewed on the... Where are they at? Am I blind? I'm blind. I know I'm blind, but where they're there. Can only be viewed on the video cams or on the truck monitor during the contract. So, I mean, technically if you had that tier 1 headband on, somebody could view it in the truck while you're wearing it. Nobody can be in the ghost room for the Goryo dots to appear, though. That's kind of a tricky thing, is getting everybody else to leave the room and leave the room alone. And then, of course, if the Goryo roams outside of the room, but it will never change its favorite room, but it can still roam outside, and then, you know, you're just sitting there looking at an actually empty room waiting for a ghost to do something that's not even there. Feels like a massive info dump. It's just a bunch of my experience and knowledge so far, so parse it as needed. Otherwise, I mean, this is basically a good showcase that doesn't matter your equipment, it doesn't matter what difficulty you're on. You definitely can get these ghosts. I didn't do anything special during this. I got my one evidence. I left the ghost room alone. I double checked for, especially when you have either ultraviolet, spirit box, orbs, because they're not technically a mimic evidence, but they are evidence of the mimic, and freezing temps. When you get any of those three, you need to start checking around for mimic orbs. So, I do hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If you have any corrections to what I've said, please let me know in the comments so I can learn something. I'd love to. All that being said, if you could like, comment, and or subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Anything that you could do for the channel will help me put more back into the channel for you. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.